A powerful CEO, furious in court, turns on his assistant with rage, but before the insults can fly, Judge Caprio slams his gavel and shuts it down. What happens next will shock you, because this courtroom moment isn't just about law, it's about respect, dignity, and a lesson every leader needs to hear. Stay tuned, because this story takes a turn you won't forget. Stop right there. Judge Caprio's voice thundered across the courtroom. The audience froze. Cameras zoomed in. The CEO of a powerful tech company had just turned toward his assistant, his face red with anger, ready to unleash a storm of insults. But before a single word could leave his mouth, Judge Caprio raised his hand. This wasn't just any ordinary day in court. It was supposed to be a routine hearing about corporate misconduct. Yet what unfolded became a lesson in respect, humanity, and the power of standing up for those who cannot always defend themselves. The assistant, a young woman named Emily, had been nervously flipping through documents, trying to keep up with the CEO's demands. The CEO, Mr. Richard Hale, was notorious for his temper. He believed his wealth and influence gave him the right to treat people however he pleased. But Judge Caprio was not a man who tolerated disrespect, especially inside his courtroom. Judge Caprio leaned forward, his eyes locked on the CEO. This is a court of law, not your boardroom. You will not berate your assistant here. The CEO smirked, clearly irritated. With all due respect, Judge, she works for me. She made a mistake, and I have the right to correct it. The room went silent. Everyone waited for Judge Caprio's response. Correction is one thing, the judge said firmly, humiliation is another. And in this courtroom, no one has the right to strip another person of their dignity. Emily's eyes filled with tears, not of shame, but of relief. For the first time, someone powerful was standing up for her. The audience could feel the tension shift. The CEO, used to controlling every situation, suddenly found himself powerless. Judge Caprio's reputation wasn't built on legal victories alone. He was known for his compassion, his ability to see beyond the law and into the human heart. And in that moment, he wasn't just defending Emily, he was defending every assistant, employee, and ordinary person who had ever been crushed under the weight of arrogance. For the first time, Judge Caprio turned to Emily. Miss, do you wish to speak? Emily hesitated, her hands trembling. She had never spoken against her boss before. But the judge's calm tone gave her courage. Yes, Your Honor, she whispered. I've worked for Mr. Hale for 3 years. I've given everything to this job. But sometimes, no matter how hard I try, it feels like nothing is enough. Today, I made a small mistake in the paperwork. I was scared because I knew he would yell at me. And he did. Her words pierced the silence. The audience leaned in. Judge Caprio nodded. Mistakes are human. Respect is non-negotiable. Mr. Hale, do you understand the difference? The CEO shifted uncomfortably. For the first time, his confidence cracked. He wasn't used to being challenged, especially not in public. Emily's testimony wasn't just about her. It was about every assistant, every employee who had ever been silenced. And Judge Caprio gave her the stage to speak her truth. Judge Caprio's next words changed everything. Mr. Hale, you are not on trial for your company today. You are on trial for your behavior. If you cannot treat your assistant with respect, how can you claim to lead thousands of employees? The CEO's jaw tightened. He tried to argue, but the judge cut him off. This court is not a place for intimidation. It is a place for justice. And justice begins with respect. The audience erupted in applause. Even the court officers, usually stone-faced, couldn't hide their approval. Emily looked at Judge Caprio with gratitude. For the first time, she felt seen. She realized that her worth wasn't defined by her boss's anger, but by her own dignity. The CEO, red-faced and defeated, sat back in his chair. He had lost control of the narrative. The judge had turned the spotlight away from his power and onto his humanity, or lack thereof. The hearing ended with a powerful message. Judge Caprio ordered the CEO to publicly apologize to Emily. At first, Mr. Hale resisted. But under the judge's stern gaze, he finally stood up. I'm sorry, Emily, he muttered. It wasn't the most heartfelt apology, but it was a start. Judge Caprio wasn't satisfied, though. He added, Mr. Hale, I expect you to change the way you treat people. Leadership is not about fear. It is about respect. If you fail to learn this lesson, your company will suffer, and so will you. The CEO nodded reluctantly. Emily walked out of the courtroom with her head held high. For the first time in years, she felt free. She realized that no job, no paycheck, was worth losing her dignity. And thanks to Judge Caprio, she had found her voice. The story spread across social media. Clips of Judge Caprio defending Emily went viral. People praised him for standing up against arrogance and protecting the vulnerable. And what happened next? Emily left the CEO's company within weeks. She found a new job where her talents were valued, not belittled. The CEO, meanwhile, faced growing criticism from his employees. His empire began to crack, not because of financial losses, but because of the loss of respect. Judge Caprio's courtroom moment became more than just a headline. It became a lesson for millions: respect is the foundation of justice. And no amount of money or power can excuse cruelty. Judge Caprio's courtroom moment became more than just a headline. It became a lesson for millions: respect is the foundation of justice. And no amount of money or power can excuse cruelty.